What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. Today I'm wearing my Nomos Club Campus. That's Uku. Uku, hello. Say hello to everyone. I built a cat fort, and they both like it. Paco's in there, and they're not usually this close to each other because they fight a lot. Anyway, where was I? Yes, Nomos. And today I'm going to talk about turning down a free Rolex. And it's true, yeah. So let's roll the intro and we'll get into it.
You're watching Timepieces with Tony. Talking Timepieces with Tony. Yeah.
All right, so here's the deal, man. Sometimes I get hit up by companies that want to work with me, my watch channel. And for the most part, I don't. My channel is not about sponsoring other companies or brands or whatever it is. In order for me to sponsor or have a sponsor, I have to believe in the company that wants to work with me. And you know, I have to fully believe in it. You know, I mean, I've been around the block a million fucking times, and in the music industry, I've had so many different sponsors in my life, where with musical equipment, getting free gear, whatever it is, good companies, bad companies, all around companies, whatever it is. And so at this point, I'm not some naive watch YouTuber that doesn't know what they're doing in life in general. I'm talking about, not just about whatever watches or whatever. But you know, I know that a lot of companies do. They rely on their sponsors. You know, I'm not sitting here trying to do this for a living. Trust me. You know, and so I don't have a problem turning someone down. You know, some people be like, "Oh my God, someone wants to sponsor me and give me some free shit. Cool, or pay me. I don't care." You know. So in this case, this is the closest I came to almost letting, you know, to sponsoring a company. So just for the sake of protecting the company, because I don't really know them, they are a gray market watch dealer that deal with luxury watches, Rolex, Cartier, whatever, and they are overseas. But I don't know them, you know. So, but it sparked my interest enough to get a conversation going for quite some time, even when I shut them down almost immediately. So what I did was I did some screenshots of the back and forth, but you know, there was so much of it I just couldn't put it all together. So I'm just going to put it up. This company contacts me on Instagram, and they do have a fairly big presence. They do have a lot of followers, and their first interaction with me was, I hid the name of the company, just reaching out to you today to see if you were interested in a partnership regarding your YouTube channel. And I responded, "What do you have in mind?" And then they send me this, "We'd be willing to send a watch over to you, but it would be at a 70% discount and not with full coverage. For us, just as a test, because the first time we are working together. If we then decide to work with you again, I'd be happy giving you a full coverage at 100% off the watch for you to make a review on YouTube video on both the watch and us as a company." I then responded, "Hi, thanks for contacting me. I would not be willing to pay anything out of pocket to review one of your watches or review a watch." Then they sent me a response, "Well, what do you have in mind?" And I just kind of said to them, can you tell me other YouTubers you have worked with and how much you are charging for shipping? I'm sorry, but I don't see how you would benefit by sending me a Rolex or a Cartier just for a video. I mean, who does that, right? You know, and I'm full disclosure, man. You know what I mean? They wanted to know about my channel. I basically said, look, I'm a small channel. You know, I have just over 2,000 subscribers. I get roughly between 38 to 50,000 views a month. So the viewership is higher than what the subscribers are, but that's just the way it is. So I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm a small channel, right? So I basically was like, I'm not really interested, but you know, how is this going to benefit you? And then they said, since I said I wasn't going to pay for anything, they said, well, then they said, okay, well, we'll give you the watch. And seeing as you'd be getting a watch worth over $1,000 for free, oh, they wanted me to pay for shipping. So they're going to give me the watch for free, but they want me to pay for shipping. And I was like, okay. So now I'm playing along, but at the same time, I'm not convinced. In fact, it's actually deterring me a little bit further away. I want to see, where are these guys coming from, right? So they sent me, they said, okay, the shipping's going to cost $500. And I'm like, all right. Now keep in mind, they are overseas, right? They didn't mention anything about duties and tax and all that stuff, okay? Because when you buy something from overseas, say for instance you buy a watch from Chrono 24, and they send you the watch from Japan or whatever, that can get held up in customs. Then you get contacted by customs saying, well, there's duty on this, and then there's this, and you're gonna have to pay this much, and you're gonna have to pay this much, and then all of a sudden you're out several $100s more for the product. You're like, oh, wait a minute, this is, okay? So I never mentioned that, and they didn't either, right? But then they're saying that it's reasonable for me to pay for shipping, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, if you're sending me a Rolex and whatever, then yeah, it's definitely reasonable. But then they said I could keep the watch. Now keep in mind, they said over $1,000. A Rolex is a little bit more than $1,000, aren't they? Then I sent to them, I'm confused. Just let me double check. No, sorry, before they offered to give me the watch for free, I said, so just to be clear, you want me to pay for shipping to and from the location to give you and the watch a review? How does that make sense? You know, because at this point I didn't know they said I was going to be able to keep the watch. You want me to pay for shipping to me and back to you, review the watch, send it back to you. Wow, really? Okay. But then they were like, well, no, you get to keep the watch over $1,000, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, wait a minute, now I'm confused. Keep in mind, they're overseas, speak a different language. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I said, I'm confused. You sell luxury watches, correct? I see Rolex and other brands on your page. You never mentioned anything about keeping the watch. Please let me know what watch you're talking about. Thank you. Okay, so now at this point, they're like, yes, you'd be able to keep the watch. And then I'm like, okay, so now I get to keep the watch. I just pay for shipping. And they're like, yes, that's correct. What are your thoughts on that? And I was kind of like, I'm not really interested, man. I don't. And then they sent me another message back saying, well, we're going to pay the tax and duties as well. They didn't mention that before. So now they think, well, okay, we'll pay for this tax and duties. This went on for a while. It was a lot of back and forth. And the more I was kind of rejecting them, the more aggressive they were becoming. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, these are kind of red flags for me, dude. Keep in mind, I'm an investigator, dude. I know what the signs of red flags are. I don't know. But I finally said, oh, okay, so they finally, I said, all right, what watches do you have? What are you offering here? And they sent me 3 Rolex, vintage Rolex. They said they're not going to send me a new reference. And that's fair enough too, right? Any Rolex, right? Three vintage Rolexes that I could pick from. And I'm like, well, okay, I can get to keep one of these, okay? So I was like, all right, fair enough. I'm okay with that to a certain extent. But this is where I turned it down. They said, how do you want to proceed? I said, okay, you're going to have to bill me for the shipping. Once I receive the watch and confirm authenticity, I'll pay for your shipping. Is that fair enough? I mean, you know, I don't know these guys, right? You're going to send me a watch. Okay, before I part with any of my money, I want to make sure that this watch is authentic. Okay, I have a lot of integrity, and also I don't want to put anything on my channel that's going to jeopardize not only my channel, but viewers into thinking that this is a legit company that you could go and buy your watches from on the gray market. Granted, it's overseas, but still, you know, because that was their whole point. They want to break into the United States. And I'm like, not until I see that it's authentic. I don't care. I mean, I know the watch in general's authentic by looking at it for the most part, but I don't know what's underneath the hood. You know what I mean? What's been done to this watch? Is it 100% authentic? You know, that's what I have to make sure of before I take it, you know? And I don't care if it's only $500 out of my pocket. I don't need another Rolex that, for one, probably wouldn't wear. And vintage Rolex, you know, it's nice to have one in your collection, but at the same time, you know, It's not so much the $500 as it is what are you sending me, and how am I going to sit there and promote your channel or your company with a watch I really don't know anything about. I'm just going, look, I have a Rolex, here it is. This is this company. They're awesome. They sell all over the world. They're a great market. They give great prices. Let me put the Tony code in there and maybe you'll get 5 or 10% off. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That's not what my channel's about. You know, anything I promote, you know, whether it be Bindi Jewelers, my watches, or whatever else, is because I believe in it, or I believe in them, or I believe in what it is I'm talking about. I don't believe in this company. I don't know anything about them. Okay? So when I ask them to send me the watch so I can get it authenticated and then bill me, that's the way I work, man. Send me the bill so I have that for my tax purposes and whatever. They're like, I'm afraid I can't do that. The deal at hand is already greater cost for us to make this happen. We feel it would be the least you could do to help things run smoothly on our side. Excuse me? I'm sorry. Did I upset you? I don't understand this. Look. You know, I understand there's trust on both sides, but at the same time, I also have a channel that I've been doing it for a while. And if you want to send me the watch, I appreciate it. I appreciate you contacting me, but at the same time, that's not how I do business. So you're going to have to trust the fact that if you send me an invoice, I will in fact pay you for the shipping on that watch. If I find that there's anything wrong with that watch, it's not authentic, there's something, anything wrong with that watch that leads me to question anything authentic about that watch, I'll send the watch back to you. I don't care. So needless to say, they continued to contact me and say, you know, I don't understand. I'm like, you don't need to understand. Bottom line is, it's a no-go. So having said that, what do you guys think? You know, I'm sure I'm going to get comments like, dude, you're an idiot. You should have taken the Rolex and then you could sell it, whatever. Okay, keep in mind, that's not what I'm about. And I don't give a shit about the money. It's just I've never been money driven. You know what I mean? Hate to say it because I need more of it, you know, but at the same time, I don't want to jeopardize anything with my channel or my integrity, me as a human being, me as a person. You guys, I don't want to mislead you, you know. I don't know. It's a gray market dealer. I don't care for gray market dealers for the most part. Some of them are okay. I mean, you know, I don't have a problem with, you know, Crown and Caliber, Watchbox, Bob's Watches or whatever. But you know, they're not all bad. You know what I mean? It's so, you know, if it was Grand Caliber or something like that, I'd say no straight from the get-go. I don't care what, you know, or the Timepiece Gentleman. No, you guys got too much baggage. So having said that, that's my story. I turned down a free Rolex, and there you have it. So just wanted to do this video, and I hope you guys continue to like and subscribe because I do appreciate it, and I appreciate all the cool comments you got. I also know that yesterday when I mentioned, I was a little frazzled yesterday because of the traffic thing I was involved with, but when I was talking about the Parmigiani watch, and I was just like dumbfounded on what movement they had, and it's like their own movement. They're in-house and they make movements for other brands, so that's where I was getting confused. So anyway, having said that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Peace out.